So guys, today we're talking about what it's been like for me to live with the 992 GTS over the last 6 months. Has it lived up to the hype? Am I still as excited about it? Is there another car that I'm already looking to in the future? Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, most of this is gonna be pretty positive. So we came down to the Wrightsville Beach to take off some trips, get some good shots, and kind of talk about everything that has been involved and that I've done with in this car and has it lived up to the hype. All in all, I will say that I have been unbelievably impressed with this vehicle. It has lived up to everything that I've wanted it to be for a dream car for me. I've owned over 30 different cars in my lifetime. It varies from everything. So Mustangs, supercharged cars, 73 MG midgets, early JDM legendary cars. And most of those cars, by about the 6-month time, you've kind of already figured out what the car's about or what it's capable of, at least in stock form. But with this car, the most interesting part is I'm still discovering little nuances about it. How to perform it better, how to get better cornering around brakes. Just to give a big instance, there's this one corner that I constantly go around every day when I'm going to the gym. And at first when I'd go into it and I'd come up to the stoplight, I'd always kind of brake and then kind of press on the gas and get that feeling like, oh my God, the car is just amazing. It really holds on to that corner really well. But over the last 6 months and this time, what I'm finding now is I'm not pressing on the brakes at all. And it's not a bad thing. It's if you can just go ahead and tack down on the car a little bit, drop it down 1 or 2 gears, then slam it around, there's not even a necessary reason to put on your brakes. The handling in the corner, especially because it is an all-wheel drive GTS, is just perfect. With this car, I think that there's still about 1.5 years, 2 years that I could be going to track days, going to cornering around in the mountains, or just daily like afternoon driving, and still learning little things that I can just improve my driving capabilities with it. And that honestly is super exciting, right? Because you don't want anything to get boring. All right, so there have been a couple oddball issues into this car, and I don't know if you'd call them a negative necessarily to say, but they did cause me some issues. And one of that had to do with my front windshield when I bought the car was actually PPF'd already. And I think it was about 3 months after I owned the car and had the car, and about 1 year later from when the PPF was put on, and I went to go walk out, clean off the front windshield, and I noticed that I was getting like this bubbling that was coming up from it. And originally I thought maybe it was some aftermarket tint that was put on or something that wasn't done with Porsche. So of course I took it into my local Porsche dealership, had them check it out, and they let me know that no, they would not sell a car that had tint on it already. It's just not what they do. What I did come to find out is it was most likely PPF that was done on the front windshield. So I took it down to one of our local PPF guys that does everything for Porsche in our local area, a lot of McLarens, a lot of exotic cars, to see what was going on. And sure enough, the issue was that the PPF had started to fail. Now, coming to talk to him, the guy who owned the place, I believe his name was Arthur. Arthur was saying, you know, it's one of those things that could be, you know, that people kind of maybe not like the product altogether, and that is because around 1 year after you get it, a lot of times it can actually end up failing, and it causes that bubbling or like melting of your front windshield look, which is just absolutely terrible. So he says customers kind of are satisfied with it sometimes. Sometimes they just choose to leave it off after they hear the information of it. Now, this is where it's kind of up to you though, right? Because it could be one of those things, if you're going to go on a track day or somewhere where you're worried about rock chips coming up, or you're going into a canyon road, you want that added little bit of extra protection for it. It is only $700 for you to actually put on the PPF on the front windshield, but if you have to replace the windshield, it's $3,200. So even though it may not be highly recommended, it's kind of one of those things, if you want the extra security for it, you can have it. It's just may not be the best for you, right? It may not do as intended. Another thing that I will tell you that I've loved over the entire 6 months of owning this car, and I know everybody actually says it, right? You have to get the front lift system. You have to get the front lift system. Honestly, you have to get the front lift system. Every 15 feet on some of these back roads that you go to is a speed bump that literally feels like it is 5 feet high. Just kind of having that security, knowing that it's not pulling off your front diffuser or giving you those issues, game changer, game changer. Again, I will say this to you, get the front lift system. This is just one of those things and reasons why I love my Porsche so much. Because it's given me such a joy to just go out and drive randomly all the time, anytime, that I find views in places like this. I wanted to pull over for a bit because there is something that we kind of need to talk about. And I don't know if it's really a positive or negative. Maybe it's actually just more like a preference thing. But it's actually your front buttons that you have, and just the front buttons for raising and lowering the windshield. And they're soft touch. Now, this is just kind of a weird choice for Porsche to make for me, because every other single button in this car literally is the crispest thing you've ever felt in your entire life. It feels special, it feels good. There's a satisfying click and press to it. But on this, and not the back, only on the front, they decided to have this kind of like soft touch feeling that, I don't know, maybe they were thinking that over time, because they were pressing on this button so much, that it would kind of wear down or wear and tear. And maybe that's why they did it. I still don't know. I'd rather have it be that crispy kind of touch feeling to it. All in all, just a little bizarre for me. So if you guys know why, maybe in there, you're from Porsche, just let me know. It's weird, man. It's really weird. So going back on a little bit of something more positive about the interior and something that I absolutely love, I think it was the best choice for this car, and that is going to be the 18-way seats. We've gone on a lot of adventures with this car, okay? We've gone 2.5 hours up to NC Cars to do a 4-hour track day, then 2.5 hours back. We've done multiple canyon runs. We've gone to the Parkinson's Drive, which was basically the 3-hour tour of adventures, all right? Lots of back roads. And one of the things that has saved me over and over again are these seats. Now, I have no regrets about not taking the carbon seats and have it be lighter weight. It'll be even a little bit more aggressive, because it's not like a Cadillac or a Bentley or something that really gives you kind of that cushiony, soft feeling. It does still have a stiffer feeling and does hug you, and you can control it to give you those positions where you want on track day. But then when you're just driving, it makes it so it's just absolutely just a much, much better experience. My back thanks me all the time. So comfort brings us to one of the greatest reasons why you'd want a 992, and also a very specific problem, and it's a disease I'd like to call Porscheitis. What Porscheitis does for a lot of Porsche owners is, because it is such a good daily driver, you're putting on so many miles, a lot of Porsche people don't want to do that. They're worried about the evaluation of their car. They're worried about the clicking of the buttons not working as well, maybe the seats getting worn. So a lot of times it becomes an issue. But just because it is such a good daily driver doesn't mean it doesn't do all the Porsche things that you want it to do. Matter of fact, when we had it out on NC Car Track, we were pretty much, I think, 4 to 5 seconds ahead of the pack. I mean, this car is amazing in all ways. And I'll tell you, to be honest with you, I don't ever see myself getting another 911, or at least I'd say never getting rid of this 992 911. It has been perfect. It's been amazing for meeting people over the last 6 months. It's been amazing for going to track drives, just getting lost, finding places around the community that I never knew about, restaurants, everything we talked about doing. It has made Porsche ownership the most perfect experience for me that I've ever had in my entire life. However, that is going to get its first test. And you guys are going to want to like and subscribe, because on our next video, I'm not only driving my first GT3, I'm driving my first GT3 RS, a 992.2 brand new one. And we're going to find out if I made the right choice or the biggest mistake of my life.